try to call it failing marriages. So that's the idea for today's episode of Speak Out with James. And I'm not doing this alone. I'm going to put up a team of panelists who I believe can help us do justice to this topic. And I'm happy that we have them. So I'll take a break, and when I come, I'll be introducing my guests. So this is how we need to Speak Out with James. So let me take a look at this point. When I come in, I will introduce my guests. Let's take a break. You think
Then there will be a fight.
Right.
And then one person will break each other's head, or another one will go.
Okay.
And then she will go and be a single mother.
Okay.
And then.
Okay. Let me talk to Mr. Dinesh. Now, there are, like I said, there are many reasons why marriages are failing. Okay, so I know that a lot of people have things that they fix. I don't know, like he said something. And there are small issues that couples should not really fight about, and but has caused a lot of people their marriage. I think some people said, someone said that they quarrel over toothpaste in the house. Because as a wife, the wife believes that if you want to press your toothpaste, you press it, start pushing from the down. Someone said, the other said that you can press it, I'm nice pressing from the knee. All these small issues should be the reasons why during couples overlook these things, or should make a big deal out of it. Should someone's marriage end because of things like this?
Thank you very much, Mr. Administrator.
If you have any other similar issue that you see,
I will still come to that your question. I wanted to lay emphasis on ego. This thing is much rampant among the societal people. The big men have all these things within themselves. I will not mention it. A lot of marriage has collapsed under a month. Oh, mommy, you don't know me. I'm a daughter of ex-minister. My father is this, is that, and you expect me to do this. What a hell are you? If that mate cannot do it for you, it's better we quit this thing.
But why did they go ahead with the man? Maybe before they will back, they will have been discussing.
God bless you. Now, in my own language, they will say, Olowo shore olowo, oloshi shore oloshi. Meaning, the rich die with the rich. Yeah, like the poor die with the poor. Now, marriage, some years back, if you are wealthy enough, you will want a situation, if you are having a male child, to be visiting your fellow friends that is having a male children, a female children, so that they can be compatible. Meanwhile, the love may not be there. You working, you want to go and marry from those gutter. People don't think, where do you come with that girl? Oh, my minister Lenny. Oh, mommy, I will not mention me. Now, the marriage will fail because one, they are not compatible. They didn't see themselves as one. It's like they forced them into that thing because of material things they want to gain within themselves. I mean the both parents. That is why I said ego. Me. My father is the present minister of justice. Who do you think your father is? Is it because your father dashed us Bentley, you cannot use it to talk on? No, I can't take that. Dad, you see, that guy asked me to marry. It's like the way Amana is doing his things. I don't believe this marriage can work. The next thing, if you know it cannot work, move away. Now, let me go back to your question. Something like toothpaste matches. Yes. In a situation like this, some men, that's what we call transfer of aggression. Maybe the man has gone to work, on getting home, nothing comes from him. He didn't have anything. Hello dear, toothpaste lẹ́yìn ti tán bá ra toothpaste bọ́lí. Meaning, dear, the toothpaste has always finished. You didn't buy toothpaste for us. What do you mean? Do you tell me to go and buy toothpaste? You know, anger, transfer of aggression. Before you know it, because during their courtship period, there's no room for a lot of courtship to study each other. They will say, after all, she be more well. I've known his character, I've known her character. Under 6 months, let's analyze this thing. Marriage, we used to say it in Yoruba, Oja Okunkuni, it's like a black market. My sister have said it all. We are both raised in different homes, different backgrounds. Automatically, our behavior will be different. The only thing we need there is tolerance. How do we tolerate ourselves? I can cite myself as a case study. When I lost my job, it's like hell. Hell in this country. But all the same, is now a forgotten issue. I was not able to tolerate my wife. But thank God to the in-laws that I have. They will say, no, dear, you are going nowhere. When this guy was on, he's performing his civic responsibility. So let me stop.
All right, thank you. Okay, so let me take it. Let me come down. Now, we are still dealing with the same issue. My worry is that maybe I'll come to Mr. Wanzeki. My worry is that what do people usually discuss? I'm coming to you because for a long time you've been married. Maybe what you discuss during your own time is not what is obtainable now or your own time. I don't know. For Mr. Limasham, she's a recent married person. So let me go to those who are older people. What is it that couples discuss before you get married? That when you now marry, is that they're making themselves nice or what? Because I'm trying to understand. Why is it that after you get married, you now start finding that, okay, what I can make was not what say. So what have they been discussing before they got married? So why should we even have an incident why a marriage should fail when we know that we must have talked about some things? This is that we've been lying to each other before, but let me come to you.
Like I said earlier,
yes.
I mentioned tolerance.
Yes.
Ability to tolerate is a major factor. In our own time, in our own days, there was nothing like social media. Okay, there was, but it was at a certain level. That time, you can easily express your feelings by writing a love letter. Love letter. You go to the post office and post it. She reply you. Even when it's Sunday school, if you go for a debating with another school, boys and girls school, everybody will be eager to pursue that girl that spoke very well. We are eager to look for intelligence.
So it's not really a reason.
Yes. So it's natural. It is natural. But these days, a lot of things have come up. Social media, what we see on television, what we see on the Android phone. So a lot of things are capable to make marriage grumble. That's why it is necessary to approach God in all your dealings.
Let me sort of continue. My idea has been that if I say a date and I like that date, and I like the date very, 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 very well. My idea has been that if we get married, that we're going to enjoy living together.
Okay.
So why should I marry somebody? Is that I'm angry at the end when I don't marry the person? If I say I'm not be angry, I might not do a woman marry that in first place. What did I see before going?
Yes. What you see in a female human being,
Yes.
there are some qualities you will see and you're attracted. Then by the time you don't live together as husband and wife, you begin to see certain threats.
I did not see before.
Not before. But marriage is like it's like
a person.
It's like a password. By the time you live together, you'll be opening your own, you as a man, will be opening your own character for her. She too will be opening her own character before you. Then, the ability to accommodate both is the issue. the ability to connect both. Like when I said, if you don't pray with your sister, you don't pray with your wife, I don't mean that people can live together without misunderstanding. It is only this year. If you're in your room this year, the child will be right, but the human being must do something you don't like. So if you're able to connect to your wife, your sister, you can equally connect your wife.
So tell us just one out of many. Tell us one thing that has happened in your years of marriage that you think that either because you that this thing should have ended your marriage, but it did not. And just give us one. All of us will share one at least one.
Well, a lot of things have actually happened. You know, by the time you marry, just you and your wife. But by the time children begin to come, there will be a lot of changes. In terms of business, income, your income may stop coming, rely on your wife. And her own may always stop. She relies on you. So, to the best of my own knowledge, what has helped me a lot is just the word of God. Do you understand? We are Christians. If we don't learn from the church we attend every day, that means we going to church is just useless. So, what has helped me as an individual is that each time I remember that the Bible forbids divorce.
Yes.
Then what should I do? I have to tolerate and work towards making amendments. Do you understand?
Yes.
I don't want thing particular from my wife.
Yes.
She's the one that can criticize me. She criticizes me to the best of her ability. And by the time she criticizes me, even though I may show anger, but when I go into my private place, I begin to make some corrections. So
let me we'll still come back to that. But I'll take a break very soon now. So let me come to Ms. Animasha. We did a few years of marriage. When I not want maybe watch or maybe say, that was one thing that you know as young married people. And we'll take it. So tell us just one thing that you think that if not because
Are you sure you won't want to take a break before I speak?
no, okay, maybe I should take a break. If what I want to say is something heavy, maybe I should take a break. So at this point, let me take a break. And for those who are watching online, I understand that we already started having questions for those who are following us on Facebook. So even for those who are here, also you can also have your questions. And for those who are watching online, you can also send your questions. We'll read them and then I'm sure we'll be able to respond to those questions. So let's take a break. When we come back, Ms. Animasha will tell us one thing that's related to our marriage and the beginning and the So let's take a look at this one, Animasha.
But I know you did not understand because till that night he was still angry. I'm the head of this and I deserve everything, the best of everything. So that became.
Mr. Davis, in your years of marriage, tell us one thing that you think that should have ended that this thing, if I want to focus on this thing, I should say I'm not doing it again. What's that one thing that probably your wife are talking to you like you just manage it?
Thank you very much, sir. I can't forget. I didn't have this thing, my diary. It's boldly written. I wrote it down. But the nature of the job I was doing that time doesn't allow me to repeat. Because if I should do so, I'll be incarcerated in the cell for many months. That day, we had twins. Those are the last born. Madam, on no account should you fetch water. It is my responsibility to take care of all these things. She was so marveled. Please, don't send my mother to go and fetch water. Choke on me. Because me, I will never send your mother an errand. On no account must you send my mother was still alive that time, she was alive, don't send her water. Say, case closed. Along the line, could you believe my co-worker, my junior one in the job, they were with me. They was like, Daddy, we are also me, meaning that if we don't call ourselves there, he called me by my name. There's no water at home again, no. Go and fetch water. And he was talking, she was saying that in the presence of my junior one that he was like, Monster! Automatically, this man like this. So if it's in the office, he command respect. He never commanded any respect at home. That day I was so furious. I was walking like this. My mother said, Rashid, what is trouble? I've been telling you times without number. You people calling yourself names, it's uncalled for.
Even your mother was not telling you like that.
Yes, my mother was telling me, this our so-called life. I don't care attitude. Báwo ni Rashid, báwo ni Medina show up? It's good because we both see ourselves from Oshodi. We grow up from Oshodi. This Oshodi, this is our Oshodi. If not for Christ, I would have been another thing. But thank God for Christ. Because I'm in the world. But thank God Christ took over my life. Thank God for that. So it pains me that particular day. But my mother was there for me to calm me down. Because those junior ones that came to my house, that was my house, when they got to office, Daddy, they will use it to mock me. And before I know it, for me to vent my anger on them. She below, is it not true? She showed you one, was it not in our presence? So because of that, my mother said, that's okay. Thank God she didn't send my mother water. And if she sent my mother water, that would have been the end.
How long did you before you got married? Because what was the name she was calling you? Was she calling you by your name before you?
Right from onset. Right from onset. Till tomorrow, it is not that you not say, Daddy, who is your daddy?
So she was calling your name. She was calling your name.
Yes.
You didn't like that?
I don't dislike it. My name is my name.
No, you didn't like the fact that she was calling you. So you didn't like the dear.
I don't. All those ones is tautology.
I
don't believe in my dear, my sugar, my pie, my this thing. It's just we are just canvassing ourselves. What is my dear? What is sugar in my tea? My name is my name, and I will call you by your name. It was when I started having issues. Rashid, don't let them know my name.
And you call her by
I will call her by her own name.
She likes it like that.
She likes it.
Okay, so that is cool for you. It works for you now.
Yes.
Okay, so let me ask Mr. Wazeki. The mic is not working.
Check.
Hello? Okay, your key is not working. Use my own. Why do you my mic is working. Okay, so it is not working. So let's get the mic. Yes. Okay, so let's get the mic. So let me ask Mr. Wazeki why I'm waiting for the mic. For your own time, he said he's not bothered about my dear. I'm sure that's one of the case for the new people like Mr. Zahimasha. For you, the name dear, or when he was calling your wife by the name, was she also calling you by your name, or how was it for you?
Thank you very much. Living together means a lot. In fact, I've not had any cause to think of divorce.
Oh, wow.
And I started not to write anything in my diary. You understand?
Yeah.
In terms of pet name, immediately we agreed to marry. By the time I produced marriage, finished my traditional wedding, she coined a name. Till tomorrow, she calls me B Darling.
What is it?
She calls me B Darling.
B Darling. What does that mean?
And Hold on. And I answer her. She called me Bill, I call her Bill, I respond Bill. The meaning is privately known to us.
Okay, cool.
You see, even her relations, I've asked this question. What's the meaning of Bill again? I'm coming, and she's blessed. You understand? So, I remember sometime in the office, a colleague in the office, this one I said, oh, my dear. The man there said, you say, my dear? I said, yes. I have not called any human being since I got married, darling, except her. But I use the word dear. You know, really what? You understand? So the thing, all this is boiled down to understanding. Like, he was saying, my colleague said now that he told his wife never to send his mother on errand. That is duty to fetch water. Sometimes cultural affinity, cultural background contribute a lot to living together. That's why advancement said that marriage is not for boys. It's for mature human beings, mature mind. When a young man rents a room, lives there, it's just a house, it's just a room. But when he marries, that room becomes a home. Because of who? Because of what? The presence of the woman. Because that is a home. And it takes a lot for someone to be a husband. In Igbo language, we call it deep. Deep, meaning you should be able to accommodate. Be able to accommodate.
Okay, that's the meaning in Igbo.
In Igbo language, husband means deep. And deep means it's a complex statement, complex say acronym. So if you are not able to tolerate, accommodate, you will not be successful.
I don't know about Igbos. I don't know what actually know of that people. I know that Jim is that in Igbo language. I know. So, but I don't know what actually know that.
From the you get deep.
Yes.
In Igbo language. From deep you get deep.
It's good. It's giving us new one. I'm not
So, a lot of things happen that will make you become a full-fledged man.
Okay.
Tolerance has to be the key word because you don't tolerate your wife. She don't. We're talking about wife.
Yes.
What of we ourselves? I told somebody, you see what you want in a lady. 50% is pass mark. What you want. Then you take. If he sees in you 40% is a pass mark. For two of you to come together.
Okay.
So that you can be compatible.
The same with how we are.
Shall we give 100%? You're wasting time. 100% what you like in a human being.
Okay.
It's not possible.
Okay. Let me come to this side. I know the two men are talking about name calling now. So I think that's also one other thing again that is usually give problem in marriage. So Mr. Animasha, for you, maybe because you are the younger one, the younger generation now. So talk to us. You and your husband, you have an issue with name call. I'm sure you have.
I feel in marriage it depends on what the couple, it depends on what the couple agree to. Some people prefer calling themselves by their first name. If it's fine by them, I feel it's okay. But I just feel that can likely have an issue because when they start having kids, you know, the first name the child hears is what he get used to. Like when I call my husband Eddie, now my son has started calling my husband Eddie. He calls daddy and does not answer. The next is Eddie.
Okay.
Eddie. You understand? So he knows that if I call daddy and you don't answer, you will answer to MD. Probably you feel it is mommy calling you. So I feel first name sometimes that's why some people till date their firstborn call them their first name and then they put auntie Shade. You won't know they are talking to their mother. That's what they've been hearing their father call them. So I don't have an issue with it. marriages, I call my husband empty, and he calls me babe.
Okay, so that's a good one. So I'm going to take comments now, because I know we already have comments. But before I take comments, I want us to look at the effects of this issue of failed marriages. I want to look at this issue of failed marriages while I now take comments from people. So let's start with you, Mrs. This thing we call failed marriage or failed marriages now, at marriages that are not working, what are the effects that these things have? Probably on the man or the woman or something. I was watching a program yesterday, and the issue that they were having was the issue of the man got promoted in the office, and the wife was complaining that the husband is not helping her with house chores and things like that. And the husband said, okay, let's the wife said, okay, you can afford the maid and the driver. Okay, the husband said, well, I get it. So now the issue was now, which maid did we bring? Did we bring a man or a woman? The husband said, let's get a female. The wife said, no. You don't get the female, so you cannot start looking at the female. The man said, okay, so what do you want? He said, let's get a male. The man said, we can't get a male. We have a daughter, a female daughter, a young daughter. We don't want to make the man come and stay my daughter. The man said, there's no problem, let's go have it. The woman said, you are very wicked. I said to myself, this one, what do you now want? So, the effect, and the child was watching. What are the effects of these things? You know, when a marriage, after 2 months, people that just got married and they've separated, what effect do you think that these things usually have? Failed marriage and failed marriage. Please, let's start with our questions.
Okay. Firstly, I think I need to speak about manage in my language. I say two elements, facts, the grass under it suffers. So I think this has a big effect on the children. It traumatizes children. It takes their attention off their education, and then they have to think about one or two things. Okay, probably I taught for a while, and I've had issues with children who could not perform well, children who could not perform well in school. And the excuse was, well, when we got to deep into it, we found out that there has been issues at home with their parents. So this has a psychological effect on children. That is the more reason why couples should not argue, disagree in the presence of their children. It's fine if a child is scolded and the second party is not fine with the scolding. It's fine for you not to be fine with the scolding, but it is terrible for you to react in front of the child about the scolding. So I feel that we should, as a couple, the best thing is, if you cannot work things out in a relationship, don't smuggle it into a marriage, because you find it hard to work things out in a marriage. So if you are the naughty one in the relationship, and when you get to the marriage, you feel that you can be naughty, I think the second spouse should raise up maturity, so that your maturity can cover up for the second one's naughtiness. And if it is the man that is being naughty, I think the woman should raise up and be mature all of a sudden, so that it can work, because it takes two to tango.
All right, wow. Okay, so Mr. Depeche, she has just opened, and I think what she has said that is for those who are intending to. Let me come to. What about those who are going to marry, Mr. Depeche? What effect do you think that when marriage fails, it will have on the man? Those who are already married, what can they do? Because they are already married. So,
thank you, sir. When the marriage failed, there is a lot of effect, both on the husband and the wife and the children. Let's start with the couple. They can't get things right. They can't get things right. They can't come up from that trauma. Go your way, I go my way. Nobody pray for it. I will never pray for it. I don't even pray for it for my enemy. Because one, it will be disturbing. It's like an alarming something on their forehead. Then my sister has spoken it all. wọ́n ní tí erin méjì bá jà koríko bẹ̀ ló máa ń jìyà. If two elephants do fight each other, the grass there will suffer. That is what lead to polygamous home. You can see, God forbid, just let me divert a bit. If a man loses his wife to the cold hands of death, and the man under a tinkle of some months, 6 months or 1 year, the family will say, thank God you have overcome. Carry on your life like that. But if a woman should do so, lẹ́yìn ọdún kan after just 1 year, he has remarried. Now he kill his husband. That's another thing. Now, let's come back to your question. See, a failed marriage had a lot of significant bad effect on both the husband, the wife, and the children. Who suffer it most is the children. Because those ones that doesn't have children, the trauma will still be there for them. There are things that they've done to each other, that they are one. They are one entity. The more they remember those days, why do I do like this? Why do I do like this? And most failed marriage is being caused by the third party. The third party.
Why?
The third party. We all know the third party. The gossiper.
We don't all know.
The busybody. Now like this I see him. Baba Beji, the last time that you are not around, I saw your wife coming down from that hotel. In many places now, they do meeting in an hotel. They do interview in an hotel. But you, as a man, thank you. God bless you. This thing, some years back, when I was shuttling between Lagos and Ibadan, Baba Abeji, Ọlọ́run Abetitidi, meaning Olamatins, what is Ọlọ́run Abetitidi in English? Ọlọ́run Abetitidi, that the word of the owner of that word that is deaf to his word. I will just come in and they will be saying, Ọlọ́run Abetitidi. What is Ọlọ́run Abetitidi? I tried to figure it out. I couldn't get it. But along the line, when I got the picture of Ọlọ́run Abetitidi, I was just smiling. That is what keep my marriage going on till now. Because I don't look at all those whatever I say. Also my wife, I love my in-law. They will say, what is your problem? Just tell us your problem. Is this man not faithful enough to you at home? Do you lack anything? She said no. Then leave him alone. So, in a failed marriage, who suffer it most is the children. If those couples have children, thank you.
All right. So,
sorry, quick one. I think if for couples that don't have children yet, I think the woman suffers the most because that is where comparison gets in. When the marriage fails and then she remarries and then she starts comparing, this is the way my ex-husband used to handle, this is the way he does this, I like the way he, and then the present husband becomes, she wanting the present husband to be someone that is not an ex-husband, and then she begins to face problems. So I feel the woman sometimes, the men to suffer, but women, firstborn women.
Okay, all right. So I think it's interesting. I want to take comments now, so that you can direct, so that I can allow my audience to interact and then those who have questions. So let me take a break first. The break will usher me into taking comments on this point. Let me take it. Alright, welcome back to the last lap of this episode on Speaking and in case for those who are just joining us, well, you missed a lot, but I'm sure you can still get a bit out of the remaining time we have. We'll be talking about failing marriages, why marriages are failing, and what we can do to restore marriages. Okay, so I want to take comments from members of the audience, but before we take that, let's start with the question we have online. For those who are watching us online, you can still send your question before we round up. We'll take that question for those who are watching. So basically, the question we have on the question we have on the right. What was that? Okay, so you have it now. let's take that. So I don't know if the question is directed to anybody, but anybody can. Okay, to me. Okay.
Praise the Lord. So this question is directed to Sister Baby. So this person is asking that for your reaction. I think when you were talking about your grandfather and grandmother, how he was treating your grandmother, so I guess that was where this question came from. And he said, from your reactions, do you advise silence in pain as a culture in sustaining marriage in this present generation? Should I take it again? Okay, so the name here is Daily Ignition.
Okay.
So the question says again that from your reactions, do you advise silence in pain as a culture in sustaining marriage in this present generation?
Do you understand that?
Yes, I do. I do understand it. Okay, so the thing is, he said, do I advise silence in pain for the marriage to keep going?
I think that's what it is.
Yes, that's what the question is talking about. I think one way or the other, if there is something for people who have seen one thing or the other, or who are witnessing something in their marriage at the moment, if you are not ready to give up that marriage, definitely you have to be silent for that marriage to keep going. Because if it is not something that would demoralize you mentally, if it is not something, if it is not an abuse, physical abuse, if it is not a verbal abuse, if it is not something that will pull you down, I feel to my own, I feel keeping quiet and things, and little things that should have caused a big deal should be something we can employ. Because if we always want to speak out and always want to be the one that will be heard every time, then you become an I too know. Oh, she's too fond of herself. She's the only one that likes speaking. She wants to be the man of the home. So I feel that if it is something you can cope with, that is not mentally draining, I feel keeping quiet if it can save your marriage, then why not?
Okay. We'll back to that. Let me not allow other reactions. Let me ask maybe any of us can later talk about that. Let's have questions or comments. Questions or conclusions or comments.
Good evening or good afternoon, everyone. So I have a question. Regarding when, sir, please, I don't know your name, sir. When you were talking about the days, gold times, you know that in times of gold, we discover that before a particular person will get married, the family has to observe the other, like maybe from the man's side, has to observe the lady that their son wants to marry. So they will keep observing, even though they were choosing for them, then they were observing the character of that particular person before they will choose for them. So my question now is, now in this time of ours, you know that we all know this is a Redeemed church, so we know that Redeemed encourages 6 months, I think 6 months in courtship or so, right? Before you get married. So my question now is that this 6 months, is it enough to how do I put it now? To know this particular person you want to marry. Because time of old, they don't, even though they choose for their daughters and their sons, they will it will be a long while before they will say, okay, this is the person we are presenting to you to marry. That's my question.
Yeah. Yes, thank you very much for the question. You know, in those days, literacy was not as it is today. In those days, culturally, just like the last question, the person who asked the question, the last question related to cultural something. culture means a lot. Like you asked earlier, if marriage fail, the result is the result is tomorrow for many of the children. Like where I come from, if you want to marry somebody whose parents divorced, the lady, that divorce is always a trauma on her. It's like a rubber stamp. People will fear. She will never marry you, but she will not get married to within that locality. It is always people from far place who don't know her background or history. That's a common belief that like mother, like daughter. You understand? You know, in Igbo land, if a child does something good, the glory goes to the father. But if a child does something bad, it goes to the mother. Don't worry, it's like when it's the mother. So this time around, some churches don't even encourage worship. Yes, before I joined the day, I was worshiping. The Jew and the wife they don't encourage worship. All they say that the day you agree to marry, that day, that's the when after wedding, the lady can now go to the husband's house. Do you understand? But at the Catholic Church, in those days, if the lady wants to visit the husband to be, she be accompanied with two people or one lady, and she has not to sleep there. So the trends of the past cannot be obtainable now. This time around, we have seen that there is equality biblically between husband and wife. Equality. And that equality is one of the problems that cause breaking homes today. Overseas in the Western world, the woman is always regarded higher, unlike this place, where the man is the head of the family, the man dictates, and some of us, that's our brain, they tend to enslave their wife. So, my sister, that strength cannot work out now very easily because of development or civilization.
So buttress what Daddy said, there are 10 years courtship leading to marriage, and then after 6 months they separate. And there is 2 months courtship leading to marriage, and they are still intact. So the thing is, whatever it is that you see in that couple, that spouse, that person that you like, gauge that good and the person's bad. Do you feel the good can overshadow the bad? If it is, then the good. Wow. So when the bad comes, you know that okay, he's good in these things. You use it to cover up. If not, then you can date for 10 years, get into marriage, and then after 1 month, I have heard about a popular actress who dated her husband for 10 years and they divorced after 2 months in marriage. So it is possible.
All right, let me take another question. Yeah.
Okay, I did not want to call you the question, but if we are not married like your hosts, I say, for me, I don't know if I call it the question, but it's just like to make a comment. But for me, I will say maybe one of the other points again, because I'm this kind of person. I've stayed with people and we live together. There's one thing I hate completely. When I say I hate it from the inside, you using the restroom and coming out, you finish using the restroom and people are like that. They just come out and they won't even bother to do what? To flush it. God, I can even, if there's anything that is with me, I can spank it on that person at that time, immediately. Personally, I don't even take it at all. Then for those of us that don't like snoring now, somebody sleeping by your side. You have married somebody that's, what do you do?
But sir, can I quickly talk about what you spoke about?
Yes.
When you use the toilet yourself, do you flush?
Very well.
Okay, so if you take in a woman to the half of you, which is your better half, if she uses the toilet and she doesn't flush, that is your better half did not flush. So if you flush for your second half, it is not bad. So let's not use that as a yardstick for the rest.
That is true. You know, when I was talking about tolerance, do you understand? Just like I don't like what do you call it? This stick, red one. Eventually, I had a sister I was dealing with. I lived with her for more than 3 years before she got married. She's the type that will always bet at the stick. Any cup, she takes the water. You see, any cup, she uses this. The cup will be stirred. And if she drinks water, she will not even wash that cup. She put that cup behind the curtain on the wall. So sometimes when I look for cups, I don't see. When I look for curtain, I see about 4 cups. We have quarreled over it several times, and I know that has overcome of my life. Eventually, I got married. My wife became the opposite. I've worked for one day, bought lipstick for her. All this video. You understand? So, when you go to the toilet and see that it's not clean, you clean it. That doesn't make you be under your wife. Instead, from time to time, she copy that ability. Just like you live in a room, you have rug instead of carpet. By the time you marry, you tell your wife, if water falls on this rug, to be smelling, she will hear it. But don't be surprised when you come back from work one day. You don't even know it's smelling. She tell you, I didn't know when I walked past it. I don't. Because of that place, water fall there. It's possible from her own background, there was nothing like carpet. Not even other normal carpets was not there. Then she's not married to a man who has rug in his room. You know what I'm saying? So it will take her some time to be acquainted with your principles, your policies. And then gradual correction will make her change to your tune. Thank you very much.
It's actually a comment. Discuss. I'm actually from a polygamous school, so I understand everything that has to do with failed marriages or whatever, and I want to believe the person or some of the people in that marriage that suffer that suffers most is actually the wife and the children. You understand? A man doesn't suffer most of it. Yes, I understand, because I'm speaking based on
from experience.
Yes, from experience. My dad now is living happily
with his wife,
with a new wife, a young lady, for that matter. My mom, she's there, and we again. So, but that's not even where I'm going. But the truth of the matter is, as a young people that are trying to get involved in marriage, all we just need to do is be intentional. Do you understand? You have to be intentional about what you are going into, because a lot of things can actually come your way, or that could cause problems in the marriage. We have a lot of it. Number one, sex is part of it. Number two, yes, Daddy, sex is part of it. Truth be told, your finance is part of it. Cleaning of the house is part of it. Do you understand? So we just have to be intentional about it. Where you have your own shortcomings, the other person can step in to do the needful, or what you want to complain about. If you can just come in and probably do the needful, it will help a lot. You understand? So that's that. We just have to be intentional. That if you are not doing the right thing, if you're not doing the right thing by being intentional, you will be the one to suffer it for your own children. So, like, from my own part now, will I want my children to go through what myself or my younger ones went through? No, the answer is no. You understand? So we just need to be intentional and do the right thing for the sake of our offspring.
I'm a great sir. Can you please permit me some few seconds? Just some few minutes. Concerning this sex issue of the thing, can a woman say that you were 2 minutes indoors? She on emotion. Are you a man at all?
I'm not sure you understand.
No, I will still interpret myself in English. It's a person that is very close to me. I will even say it's my blood. It's not me.
Okay.
Because me be Jackie. Me be Jackie. So she was. Could you believe that is what threw her out from that particular house? She was so bold to meet the husband and say, "You." I'm sorry, but I feel if I may be able to use this language. Shall consume. If something was ringing another thing on my head. When I had it, I wasn't happy with God. The last speaker said now that sex is part of what is causing many marriages to fail. I believe if we can have this kind of opportunity, we need to lay more emphasis on that particular word. Sex is a topic on its own. Many marriages has crumbled down to nothing because of that particular issue. Thank you, sir.
I see that. Okay. Do you understand?
Okay. The meaning is do one and sleep.
2 minutes in
Do once and sleep. That's the meaning of what he said.
I'm sure other people will.
Okay. As Mr. Adebeshin has said, he said the woman was complaining that the man is do one and sleep. Let's not forget that. Okay? Some men also like sex. Okay? In which if a woman is incapable of meeting their need, it becomes a problem.
Okay.
So in the case of that woman, it might probably be the woman that has a high libido in sex. So if the man is not able to meet her standard, then the complaints will come. So the man has to brace up to meet up her standard. So they have to come to an equilibrium point so that they can meet up.
Okay. So someone asked a question. So how do we deal with someone who is, for instance, the idea is that you don't stay in your husband's or wife's place until you guys are married. So how do we deal with someone who's slow? Your husband is not like slowly, and your husband or wife is not so slow.
You take hand like that too. Because there is no drug, there is no medication to stress. The only thing is the person can reduce the stress. I think it's work stress that makes people.
Someone on the big side.
Okay, let me tell you.
That's why I think they can stop.
My mother so when she comes for Mungo, it is always I stay somewhere and she stays, but we stay together because sometimes when the baby cries in the middle of the night, I might not want to stand up here. So I don't like noise. That is my problem. I don't sleep with noise. But when she starts, I face the back.
Okay.
So you don't have a choice if you marry someone that's not. There is actually no physical medication.
Okay, so as we wrap up.
Yes, in addition to what she was saying,
yes.
that's the better has to come in. Because you cannot say because your mother-in-law, snores, that's why you manage to pray. No. Sometimes men, when they are drunk, you not see you. And now, it is a duty to curb that ability to drink excess in a man. Sometimes some men drink because of annoyance. You understand? When I was a bachelor, I was drinking alcohol very well. That very well is more than 2 bottles. So that's the very well. More than 2 bottles. But at the stage, I asked myself, I don't get certificate for drinking. I don't get diploma. I don't get PhD. Instead, this drug drinking, the alcohol I take, that my spiritual growth. I stopped it. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, some people who are addicted to drinking,
Yes.
they do it because of sometimes the way their wife behave, their wives. Some push their husband to that attitude. And when after drinking, he come back home, then snoring. But it causes a lot of confusion. And you will not decide to divorce because of it. You have to bear a cost.
Yes. Okay, so I understand that I'm against time, so I want us to wrap up now. So while we wrap up, in 1 minute each now, in 1 minute. Now, what can we now do? For marriages that are already failing and ones that have failed, what can be done? Is there any hope for them to be restored? So that those who are married can learn. So in one, I want to just speak in 1 minute. What do you think can be done for marriages that are failed to be restored? So let me still continue with Mr. Awansi. Then I'll please much how you speak that. So in just 1 minute each, what can be done and what is the hope for marriages that are failed to be restored?
I thank you very much. This word or concept of marriage in many homes today it has come to be managed. Manage and no more marriage. And what can somebody do? Somebody who is that very position or that position, just the only way out is just something to God's intervention. Be prayerful about it. Then be ready to correct yourself so that your partner will be corrected as well. Sometimes most of us men are not ready to make corrections. But if you want to know that your marriage is dwindling, the only way out is to go into warfare prayers and then decide to make corrections so that God will restore your marriage.
Okay, that's a good one. So thank you very much for this one. What is the solution? What is the
The solution is very simple. To me, how? You go back to the roots. What are the causes of this failed marriage? We have different types of failed marriage. We all know the causes. It varies from one point to another. If it's your own, it's nagging. My wife used to nag. Call my wife. Call your wife. Dear, is there anything? Though the marriage is failed already, you can easily trace this thing back to their own. I don't see any big deal in going back. Like me, I can prostrate for my wife to Madam Emma Binu, and I'm sorry, I will beg. Monica Tobade Farara, I'm sorry, I'm a typical Yoruba man. What I'm saying in essence is this. For me to prostrate for a draft doesn't mean that if I stand up, I will not be taller than that draft. Monica Tobade Farara. So, what I'm saying in essence is this. We go back to the drawing board. What causes this thing?
Yes.
Learn how to apologize. Before then, the first thing to do is to consult our Father, which is God. You pray. Fervent prayer. Daddy, I am going to so place. I know I have failed. Father, go here before me. Speak through me by yourself. Don't let me speak of my own understanding, but of your own understanding. When you go there, see, women are very easy to cajole. When you go there, my darling, my sweet bonbon, my sugar in my tea, I am sorry. You don't need to back out. But what can I say? My dear, realize mistake. You hug that woman. Before you know it, you call me say, Chotiri, have you not seen? She has learned this lesson. You people should go back. Then that is all. God bless you, sister.
Okay, in one word, I would say that for people intending to go into marriage, if there is this thing in that person that you cannot condone, please cut off and move on. Because that thing you're saying will multiply when you get married.
That's something. Cut off and move on.
Because if that person cannot give you money for hair when you are cutting, when you are married, and will not give you shishi. So that time you now say that he has never, for 10 years in marriage, this man is a wicked, he has never, that's why I'm leaving him. When you were cutting, was he giving you? So if he is not doing something that you know that you cannot take in marriage, and you think you can patch it, I will pray, he will do it. He will not do. So that is for people who are intending to. If he is uplifting his family above you, if you feel that he cannot give you the respect you deserve as a wife, because there are men who fail to balance the family and family. They fail to know that the family you are going into now, that you are making for yourself now, becomes your primary family. Your parents, your mom, dad, sibling becomes your secondary, because if you sleep now and you choke, that's your wife that you are seeing as second family. Will be the first person to rush you to the hospital even before your mother and your father comes. So people, for men like that even before you say two, let me tell my mommy, okay, think twice. So for those that are going into marriage, and for those that are in marriage, I feel that let's the men mature. So if you have married a man who does not mature, then the woman should mature. So that when the man is the one talking, the woman keeps quiet. You mature. That is the only way because it is not easy to have a talking man and a talking woman. Nothing will be resolved.
Just use them. One week, those who are just give us signs to look out. They say like we have these signs, we have used one simple key to they are giving us some signs to actually look out for. So those who are not married, they are taking note of it. And one word that is standing out for me is cut off and then move on. So if you find something you see as a red flag, if you're saying don't manage. So if I say that I cannot put up with this attitude, I should not go and say, well, we will manage the situation. It's better that I should not throw myself into that than and start saying that I know again. That's what I'm able to pick. I'm sure those who are watching, I'm sure the body need to get one thing from that statement. I know I cannot exhaust this topic because there's still more to look at, and I'm happy to bring up the issue of sex into it eventually. I think that's one thing that breaks marriages. I want to say thank you to my guests. I want to say thank you to you all. You've been able to do justice to the topic. I'm sure we learned a lot. I'm sure we're still learning and we'll keep learning. So thank you, my guests, for that. Mr. Adepesh, I want to say thank you for joining us. Yes, Mrs. Professor, thank you as well for being just on the topic. And then Mr. Wazuki, I want to say thank you as well for discussing. And for those who have been watching online, I want to say thank you for joining. And for my audience who are also here, I want to say thank you. And for those who are working behind the scene, those who are making sure that we have a record, and for those who are watching, I want to say thank you to everyone that made this episode successful and what it is today. I want to say thank you. Don't forget, this is Speak Out to James, and we'll be discussing failing marriages. I'm sure we'll be able to provide solutions to those. Most marriages are already failing, and those marriages are failed already. And for those who are intending to go into marriage, so we'll be able to provide something for them to work with. I'd like to say for those who have stories and maybe real life situations that you think we need to talk about, you can still feel free to reach out. You still Speak Out with James on Facebook and Speak Out with James on YouTube. After now, this episode will be on YouTube for those who are listening to go and watch it back again. So we come back again. I want to say thank you to everyone, and thank you all for coming, and thank you to my guests once again. Thank you to those who are watching behind the scene. I want to say thank you. So we come again discussing something that I believe will also be very, very interesting. I want to say it will work again, and keep doing what you know how to do best. And I wish marriages that happen, I wish them quick recovery. Until I come back again, it's still James Subona saying bye bye.